There's a job in AI that pays $200,000 to $300,000 base that most engineers still can't name. Job postings for it grew roughly 800% in a single year. OpenAI built a whole company around it. And the interview for it is unlike anything you've prepared for. It's called the Forward Deployed Engineer. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is, why every major lab is suddenly hiring for it, what it actually pays, and how the interviews work, including the strangest interview round in tech. So what is a forward deployed engineer? The shortest honest answer, an engineer who ships from inside the customer's world. Instead of building the product back at headquarters, you're embedded with a bank, a hospital network, a government agency, taking a powerful general-purpose AI and making it actually work on their messy, real problems. Half consultant, half hacker with a product engineer's toolkit. The name is military-flavored on purpose. You're deployed forward where the problem lives. The role isn't new. Palantir effectively invented it in the early 2010s. Internally, their forward-deployed people were nicknamed Deltas, and for years, Palantir had more of them than product engineers. With how a company selling extremely complex software to extremely complex organizations ever got anything live. For a decade, that model stayed niche. Then, large language models showed up, and every enterprise on Earth suddenly owned a powerful engine nobody inside knew how to install. Watch the timeline. Early 2025, OpenAI stands up its own forward-deployed engineering team, Palantir style, for its biggest customers. The same year, one of the biggest venture firms, Andreessen Horowitz, declares forward-deployed engineering the hottest job in startups. Within a year, it launches a fellowship to mint more of them, Salesforce commits to building a team of 1,000, and Google Cloud posts dozens of openings, reportedly compressing the interview loop to 2 days. And in May 2026, OpenAI spins the model out into an entire consulting arm. A deployment company launched with over $4 billion behind it and around 150 forward-deployed engineers and specialists on day one. Now the numbers. Postings for the title grew around 800% from early to late 2025, and one job board counted them rising from the mid-600s to over 5,000 within a year. Anthropic's public listings put base salary at $200,000 to $300,000, plus equity, with 25% to 50% travel. OpenAI's range reportedly runs from the mid-100s to around 300. At Palantir, the median total compensation for the role sits around $210,000. To be clear, these are US figures at the frontier companies for senior capable people. But that is real money for a role most resumes don't mention yet. Time for the honest paragraph. Skeptics call this rebranded consulting, and they have a point. One analysis of Google's own job description estimated the role is only about a quarter hands-on coding. The rest is integration plumbing, workshops, stakeholders, requirements, politics. You are not training models. You're in meetings, then hacking integrations, then back in meetings. If that sounds like a downgrade to you, this role will frustrate you. If it sounds like leverage, keep listening, because that mix is exactly why it pays. Because here's what the job really trades in. Translation. On a given week, you might sit with a claims team to understand why documents get rejected, prototype an agent that reads those documents with the lab's newest model, hit the real world where the data is dirty and the compliance team says no, redesign, ship a pilot, and then convince a vice president to roll it out. The engineers who can do that loop, technical enough to build it, human enough to land it, are rare. Scarcity plus billions in enterprise AI budgets equals the salary you just heard. So how do they hire for it? 3 real loops from the companies doing most of the hiring. Palantir runs a coding screen, then a debugging round on a deliberately buggy code base, then their famous decomposition round, which we'll get to. OpenAI's loop reportedly centers on a roughly 5-hour take-home, build a working system against their API, then defend it live, plus questions like, how would you diagnose latency in an LLM pipeline? And how do you know your AI system is actually working? Anthropic's loop layers a coding exercise that keeps growing new requirements, systems questions, and the customer-facing test. Explain why an LLM fits this problem to a non-technical buyer. And the strangest round? Palantir's decomposition interview. No code at all. They hand you something like, design technology to help elderly people with failing vision cook for themselves. Or, you're deployed to the moon to identify alien species. What do you build? There's no right answer. They're watching whether you can take a fuzzy human problem and carve it into something an engineering team could actually attack. That skill is the job. And it's trainable, which is exactly what the next episode does, with a reusable 5-step framework on real past questions. That's the map, the job, the money, the loops. If you're an engineer who likes people as much as code, this might be the highest leverage door in AI right now. Next episode, we beat the decomposition round, step by step. And if you want the technical depth these interviews assume, how models, agents, and retrieval actually work, our full free course covers it lesson by lesson. Subscribe so you don't miss the framework.